Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome everyone to our events, and today is our event is we doing for Dreams Unbound, organized as part of the 10th edition of Singapore Poetry Festival. My name is Bilal Hassan, and today I am MC for you. And again, welcome everyone. So we're going to start our event, and our poems is here. Dreams Unbound, poems of longing for community future. At first, Mr. Mukul. Then his poem going to read Miss Arunima. Then we have Christine Belingo, Belen Espresso, Rolinda Esplanado, Mohar Khan. Then we have Janeline Levelo. The migrant worker poets preserve the crafting meaning from the difficult experience of moving away from home. So they seek solace, and the members of the community let us celebrate their hope for better lives. So at first I call Miss Honorima. She will read Mr. Mukul poem. Mr. Mukul is he joined his classes, so he cannot join us today. So I call Miss Honorima come. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to read Mukul's poem because I know him from a long time and I've interacted with him very closely. You see, if you read this poem, it's an iconic poem. It's really become an iconic poem. The poem that I'm going to read, which is called Me Migrant. And Mukul wrote this poem in 2009. And this poem is very lucky because it was beautifully transcribed by Mr. Cyril Wong. And he's done a wonderful job of transcribing this poem. And it's my pleasure to read Mukul's poem. Okay? Me migrants live overseas, thousand miles away. Me migrant beyond borders, mislaying smiles, dawn to dusk, then dawn again, bearing sighs and a cry in our heart. Love, compassion, kindness lose their meaning. Be careful, no one here and nobody to see and know such pain. Me migrant, live outdoors, outside from you. That's the end of the poem. In fact, I'd just like to say a few words about this poem. If you read this poem, it's deeply moving. It kind of really shows you the estrangement that migrant workers feel in Singapore and their pain and their loneliness as well, and also their dreams, you know. So the sense of isolation that they feel is really great. And so after Mukul's book of poems, which is Me Migrant, that book of poetry, Me Migrant, was published, there was a lot of awareness. It created a lot of awareness about the predicament of the migrant workers and how much they suffered and the kind of loneliness and estrangement that they felt in Singapore. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you very much, Ms. Arunima. Actually, Mukul is very well known as our community, and he wrote many poems and published his book in Singapore. He is a very talented poet among us migrant community. So unfortunately, he cannot join us today. But Miss Arunima, she read his poem is very well, and hopefully you guys enjoying that. Thank you very much. So now our next poet is Christina Belingyong. She is from, have been working in Singapore for more than 8 years as a domestic helper. And as family centered, she loved to go hiking and explore new things. One of the volunteers of Migrant Writers of Singapore. She is one of the volunteers of Migrant Writers of Singapore. They will do literature and they do the various types of activities. Then she performed various literature events like Singapore Writer Festival 2022, and she is student of AIDA. So hopefully she now read her poem. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me here in Poetry Festival SG. My title of my poem is The Brave Heart. Away from family and home, living a life in a foreign land, the promise of a better life carried by the very bones, the heart that beats for the motherland. The journey of a migrant worker can be tough. The road for going home is long. A day of longing is not enough. Homesickness and loneliness can make one strong. Struggles are often unseen, hiding in a face full of determination. Despite of a doubt and fears, the spirit of fighting remains unbroken. Dreams and hopes are still the main inspirations. Stories of sacrifices are often ignored, yet laborer persists to strive for the thy loved ones will receive the fruit of labor. Each day the struggle is to survive. Greener pasture, field of dreams, where migrant sweat and blood never denied, where life and hard work has its own meaning, where the purpose and aspirations began. Dreams that keep up at night, lonely eyes, staring nowhere. The feeling of tiredness and emptiness, the longing heart yearns for a safe fortress. Battlefield of mind where shattered hopes and mental illness arise. With faith and courage, we'll hold on tight. A journey of a brave heart. Together we'll fight, together we'll rise. Migrant workers, the heroes, be still, held your head up high. For the loved ones must never forget the big and little sacrifices. The rough road of life is still ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine, for your very wonderful poems. And it's very powerful. There have many messages for us. So if anyone have any question about her poem? So, okay. So now we're going to our next very talented poet, Miss Belen Espeso. She is, we know her, Shelley. Okay. So she's from Jambales, is a Philippines domestic helper for 16 years with one employer. A self-published book, author of 7 books. Wow. She wrote 7 books and she's author of 7 books. Creative Writer Award winner in various poetry competitions, international author, contributor of Get Lucky and Get Luckier anthology books of Philippines and Singapore writers, and first Filipino bestseller in Amazon 2019. Her book is titled Shy, I Love You Today and Tomorrow. She believes that nothing is impossible when you turn your dreams into reality. Yeah.
Thank you, Bilal, and thank you, Poetry Festival, for having me here today. So I'm going to read my poems about diversity and community. In community lies public purposes to shield, to support the sick and weak, to offer and receive love and friendship, to protect my community to disasters and poverty. And within the diversity of the meaningful of life, we are all equal. Some may end with same manners in this life. We all must work at least, and at knowing the end, our faith make us unite. Some may lose their balance in the end, like stumbled in another place, and that we might discover, and as we travel, we might not come back anymore. We all came from the same world, and we will end in this same place, like the flowers that blooms beautifully and rot when the day comes to end. In the man's ambition lies community. Its fair grow bigger and noticed, a sense of being together. We all bring peace, love, and happiness to lend us for years to come. Just like my community, it's too crowded, but it's still I'm the neighborhood's friend, who don't consider we are strangers, even if I don't know them at all, since I was a new resident in the place. Just like you and me, everything carries same fate. In this world where we bound are all equal, but we descend to communities, and all of us will build a new hope that will come to others as well. Thank you. So diversity in community is about love, unity, harmony, and equality of being togetherness and helping one another towards poverty and disasters. Thank you so much.
Miss Shelley, we know her very talented poet, and she wrote various type of poems also. And she doing volunteering, migrant writers, and she do more things, and she comport with that. So I will ask her, how is your inspiration write the poems? Yeah, inspiration.
Inspiration is my family, of course, my kids. And poetry is one of the best healing through the pressure and anxiety process. And it
So actually, I know before you discuss, share with us, you do some about the kids in Philippines. You can tell us about that some.
It's like so. Yeah, I help 500 children in my community, and it is about. This is one of my purpose in poetry. So it's honorarium and incentives that I am collecting from the books that I wrote. Is half of it is I am sharing with the children, just to help them to support like their daily needs, and there is school supplies as well during schools. And yeah, I am donating a lot of things that can give them, just to make them happy. My books are all online through Amazon, sir. And I also get an on hand as the Shyhawk's Path, which is one of the project of MWS before COVID time. Yes.
Ma'am, have one more. Yeah.
Yeah. During my rest time, mom, I have to, instead of sitting around and just sobbing in the corner, I just spending my time in writing, and things that I saw in my place, I just write down. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shailin. Actually, she do quite well for us. And I have one more question. That is what you want to see among our migrant writers, how they bonding each other with the local community, and how you feel that if have the any obstacle or any objection from your local community or your employer. So we have here, I think, have many employer also, so they will know about our situation.
As a helper, through helper and employer, we always have the connection and trust. And from the friends here through other places, we just need to respect each other, other cultures, and we believe that in poetry we are one and we are family.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ms. Shailin. We have now our one more talented poet, Rolinda Espanalo. She is from Bacolod City, Philippines. Was a migrant domestic worker in Singapore and one of the kind souls who Ernest founded migrant writers in Singapore, co-edit the call and response. This call and response is the local poets and migrant poets. They write it together, and then she now stay in Philippines and doing the a sales manager, or she is the pound stage mother to a dance sport athlete's daughter. So her poem, we have the video. So now we can see in here her poems in the YouTube there.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are one. I've come to this place empty, only a bag, loads of dignity, courage, and integrity, a sprinkle of hopeful dreams. Oh, please, wish me luck. Like a maze on this unfamiliar place, I started to breathe on a paper bag. I feel suffocated, gasping, yet a filtered air, a vast of greenery. But feeling blue is growing. I realize I was all alone, with no one to lean on. I struggle. Loneliness is like a headache. It comes and goes, tearing my sanity apart. Emptiness made a hole in my heart. The shape disfigured. It became a straight line. I talk to myself at night. My shadow turns into my best friend. My saneness slowly fading. I asked the walls and waited for an answer. I found solace in a pen and paper. I read the newsletter. I wanted someone could read my heart's desire. I wrote and I write, pouring out my sadness, hoping I get back to my senses. Poem was born, one after another. Like a pod, it longs for a shelter. It needs to be read out loud. So here I am, creating not just a poem, but a book of experiences, shared with mind alike and a community that wanted to be heard. Pure talent made us open the gate of acceptance, where one reads and everyone listens, where poet relieves and the audience relates, where the story of dreams awaken by the truth that here we are, migrants, breaking the rules and coming forward, singing lullabies to each other, writing songs of we are the same, trying to fit in. Here we are, telling stories and told. Here we are, breaking boundaries. Here we are, standing in front of everyone, unmasking the hidden truth. That despite of happy faces, we are still struggling to reach the margin this society had drawn on us. But then again, here we are, existing, striving to be one. Thank you.
Actually, Rolinda, she was a founder of Migrant Writers of Singapore. When we were starting that, she among of us, and we are doing that time together many projects and many events. We do many workshops also. So actually, she now is staying Philippines, and still she helping us doing the literature in Singapore. So. Hopefully she doing well, and we hope she is better is there. So now we have our other poet from Bangladesh. He is a very talented poet, Mr. Mohar Khan. He was born in Bangladesh in the city of Dhaka. He first came to Singapore 2027, where he currently works as a construction sector. He primarily writes sonnet, but has also written short stories and non-fiction. He was a speaker at the Singapore Writer Festival, and his poems and articles have appeared in the journals and anthologies in Singapore. He was first prize in the Poetry Festival Singapore 2023 Write and Burn spoken word competition for migrant worker writers. He was first prize in 2022 in a poetry competition with the theme Migrant Life in Singapore, organized by the Story Behind the Smile of Singapore in 2020. His poem was featured in the documentary One of Us on Singapore CNA TV. He won second prize in 2021 in a poetry competition with the poems Words Heal the Mind, organized by Migrant Writers of Singapore and the Singapore Red Cross Academy. He also won second prize in 2015 from Migrant Workers Poetry Competition in Singapore. He has recently completed his diploma in poetry recitation. Here is Mr. Mohar Khan. You can read your poems, hopefully. So he will read his poem in Bengali, later on translated by Miss Poronima.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now I'm going to recite my poem, Lamppost. নেকটিন যানবাহনের জনদুর্ভোগ মুক্ত সমাকীর্ণ এই পথ এই শহরের সভ্য জাতির হিয়ার মতো অম্লান প্রাসাদের কারুকার্যে বৈচিত্র্যময় শহর মানব শিশুর মতো অত্যন্ত যত্নে গড়া বৃক্ষরাজি পাতার ফাঁকে ফাঁকে কোকিল কণ্ঠে চির বসন্তের জাদুকরী সুর এতদিনের স্বপ্নের শহর আমার অস্তিত্ব জোরে বশ করেছে রোজ আমার হৃদয়ের নিতল ভালোবাসার নিখুঁত ছোঁয়ায় এ শহর এ সিংহ জননী যৌবনে ক্রমাগত আতিশয্যে উজ্জীবিত বিশ্ব সারথি হয়েছে যেন ক্রমাগত দিনের পর দিন শ্রম বরণে আমার ঘামের নোনা গন্ধ বিস্তৃত এ শহরের প্রতিটি স্তরে স্তরে আজ আমি উন্মাদী এক শহর প্রেমী আমি কি ভুলেছি আমার জননী জাতীয়তা সময়কে সংবরণ করা প্রতীক্ষিত আমার বধূ আমার বংশীয় চিহ্ন রাখবে যে ভালোবাসার শিশু না ভুলিনি প্রতি রাত্রে একই স্বপ্ন বারবার আমায় তন্দ্রাহীন করে তোলে। বিরতিহীন স্বপ্নের পাতাল রেল চলে অবিরত। অর্থের লোভে অচেনা হয়ে যায় আমার গন্তব্যের স্টপেজ। স্বপ্নের মোহনায় সোডিয়াম ল্যাম্প পোস্টের মতো আমি একাকী। স্বপ্নে এক পা দু পায়ে মৃদু আলোয় প্রিয় পুত্রের কণ্ঠে শোকের আর্তধ্বনি আমি একাকিত্বে শুনতে পাই। বলে সে, বাবা তোমার কোলে চড়ে প্রিন্স বাজারে ঘুরবো আর কবে? তোমার কাঁধে চড়ে আকাশ ছোঁয়া স্বপ্ন গেল ফুরিয়ে। আমি হাঁটা শিখেছি, আমি দৌড় শিখেছি, আমি এখন বেশ বড় হয়ে গেছি। বাবা এতদিনে তোমার ভালোবাসার সমস্ত সত্তা ভুলতে শিখেছি। বাবা আমি বেশ বড় হয়ে গেলাম। ঘুম ভেঙে প্রতি রাতের মতো আমি হই মধ্যরাতের নেশাচর। আমি শুধু রেমিটেন্স যোদ্ধাই নই, একটি পরিবারের ল্যাম্প পোস্ট আমি। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Now, I will just help to read his poem in translation. He just gave me the translated version. And I'm sure his Bengali version is much, much better than the translated one because I can understand Bengali and I could feel the rhythm of the language and also the passion and the intensity with which he read his poem. So I'll just read his translated version. Lamppost. Here, lamppost, he uses the lamppost as a powerful metaphor of being a lamppost for his family, for being the light for his family, the source of light. So, in a sweet-sounding path, free of public grievances, civilized people cheer in the city. A kaleidoscope of palatial decorations, this city, a tree nurtured as carefully as a human child. A magician's cuckoo tune of eternal spring through the leaves. Finally, the city of dreams has swallowed my existence daily with the pure touch of my loving heart. This city becomes a chariot for the world with the youth of a mother lioness. Day after day, my labor has built this city layer by layer. That is why I am an intoxicated lover of this place. Have I forgotten my home, my motherland, my wife abandoned to time, my child, my family's inheritor? No, I haven't. Every night I wake up with the same dream, where the underworld train runs eternal. I forget my destination stop in my quest for money. I, alone like a sodium lamppost in this dream's magic, in one step, two steps, my son's pleading words into my ears. In my loneliness, I hear he says, Father, when again will I roam around Princess Bazaar in your lap? Those dreams I caught climbing over your shoulders are gone. I have learned to walk, to run. I have become too big, Father. Over these days, I have forgotten all the tunes of your love. I have become too big, Father. Waking up from my nightmare, I become an apparition. I am not just a migrant worker. I am a family's lamppost. That's it.
Yeah, if you guys have any question about his poems or about his activities, his journeys as a migrant workers and as a poems, so yeah, he will be answering. Okay, so actually I know him. আপনি কি মিস করেন আপনার হোম টাউনের মোস্ট কি মিস করেন আপনি? অ্যাজ এ মাইগ্রেন্ট ওয়ার্কার আপনি কি মিস করেন আপনার ওই জায়গা?
আমি আমার পরিবারকে মিস করি, আমার ছেলে মেয়ে, আমার ওয়াইফকে, আমার দেশকে, আমার মাটিকে আমি অলওয়েজ মিস করি আমি।
I can translate for him. He says he misses his children, his wife, his family, and his country, and the land over there. Yeah.
Mr. Mohar Khan, I know him very well, quite long time. We do together many projects, many events, and we are doing our own project also. So I know him. At first, he wrote series, the Singapore one Bengali newspaper, the Banglar Kontho, that is 2015, I think. He writing about our culture here and how we live here and how is our activities and our how we earn money and how we miss our countries. So that is every month he writing in this newspaper, and many people is comment there. Many people inspire from that. So actually I request him many times, you can continuously writing that. That is the diary of Singapore, our daily life. He's very talented and he write very short stories and many poems. You can see here he get many prizes also. Many prizes, all is Singapore, and he did is very well and continuously he want to do that, and we hope we can if doing continuously, and our local friends and we are very bonding. He know many local friends in Singapore. They are poets, their activities. So actually they help us doing more things in Singapore. So we hope more people is engaged with us. There are, especially those are young nowadays. We see more young people. They are join our various type of workshop events and our activities. So yeah, we are thankful to Singapore, and they give us more opportunity for work, for doing our literature and our hidden talents we can bring here. So yeah, thanks from Mr. Mohar, and thank you guys everyone. Thank you very much. So now we have our talented poem Jennifer Leong. She started writing poetry in 2021 to raise funds for autism. Through divine inspiration, she created the poetry form. Her poem Hills won the Spirit of the Festival Award at the France Brownie Literary Festival Multilingual Poetry Competition 2022 in Ireland. She advocates for hope through her poetry, which is often multilingual and multidirectional. She is active in both spoken and written word. Yeah, Miss Jennifer.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Hi, I see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you. The poem I'm sharing today is called The Ink Flows Unbound. And it's a twin cinema poem, which is one of the poetry forms in Singapore. So here goes. My journal entries, along with the nights, are so incomplete. When I see no stars, I skip days and days, and there's no new moon. They all merge somehow to fend off the old, broken bike of mine. That's why I am here. That Dad said he'd fix in this place and space, but he could not do. Here, life is busy. Because his time's past, belonging is hard. For better or worse, no vows are exchanged. I see legalese. Can I trust the boss, terms and conditions, and the ones I love, reduced to mere text,
To be fair to me, brains and hearts freeze to tether embers, to feed fear, not hope. For me, the only one longing to hold on, who's scared of her own unleashed, unbound, bold imagination. My community, my pen, he surrounds. Speed dreams into night, the ink flows unbound. Mares fleeing from foals, this is the lion. I'm a lamb in this city where hope's found. My journal entries are so incomplete. I skip days and days, they all merge somehow. Broken bike of mine that dad said he'd fix, but he could not do because his times passed for better or worse. I see legalese, terms and conditions reduced to mere text. Brains and the hearts freeze to feed fear, not hope, for longing to hold on, unleashed, unbound, bold. My community speed dreams into nightmares, fleeing from foals. I'm a lamb in this, along with the nights. When I see no stars and there's no new moon to fend off the old, that's why I'm here in this place and space. Here life is busy. 生活繁忙，忙碌。Belonging is hard. No vows exchanged. Can I trust the boss and the ones I love to be fair to me? Tether embers to me, the only one who's scared of her own imagination. My pen, he surrounds. The ink flows unbound. This is the Lion City where hope's found. Thank you. I also want to add another word about this poem. I didn't realize until when I was on my way here that it's also a dual transcend step if I added Chinese words to it. So the Chinese words I added last minute, so my Chinese is not very good, so that's why I had to kind of repeat. I wonder whether I said the right words in Chinese. So it's actually a dual transcend step form as well, which means that each of the stanzas can be read in any order in conjunction with the other stanzas. Yeah, so that's multidirectional and I suppose a little bit like linguistic. Yeah. Thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jennifer, for your powerful poem. So we have our last talented poet, Janelin. She's from Philippines. Grew up in a humble town of Tapaj, Capiz, and has spent the last 7 years as a domestic migrant worker in Singapore. An active volunteer of Uplifters, CDE, and Migrant Writers of Singapore, she influenced her experience into her captive Singapore literary creations. With a passion for both volunteering and the arts, Janelin seamlessly interviews her love for writing with her commitment to community service. Believing in the that always write from your heart and you will not go wrong. She pours her soul into every piece. She is the newest author of 7 years of Roar, a journey to the Lion City. Yes, Miss Janelin is here. Yes.
Thank you so much, Bilal, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. It's such an honor and privilege to be here today and to be part of Poetry Festival with the theme Dreams Unbound, Longing for Community. So today I invite you to join me on a journey of self-discovery and connection through my poem, Migrants. This piece is deeply personal as it reflects my own experiences and emotion as a migrant. Through my words, I hope to convey the longing for my community and belonging that I've felt and perhaps that many of you have felt too. So let's come together and explore the unbound dreams that unite us. So I will be reading in my mother tongue, which is Tagalog, in English. The poem is inside my debut book, which is the 7 Years of Roar, A Journey to the Lion City, which was launched last June 30. So I'll be sharing a piece of my roar here. So I will be reading in Tagalog first. Migrante. Ako ay Pilipino, taas noo kahit kanino. Banderang aking iwaway-gayway, kasabay ng aking anino. Saan man mapadako, tulad ng isang marino, migranting manggagawa, di madaling tapatan ng kung sino. Bitbit ang pasaporte at paniniwalang aasenso, bagahe kong siniksik na di nalangdan kahit piso. Pag-aalinlangang bakas sa mata at hapdi sa puso, pakikipagsapalarang sana'y di mabiktima ng pang-aabuso. Ang isla ng Singapore ang unang nagbukas, napadpad ng walang kasiguraduhan ang bawat bukas. Tanging inspirasyon at pangarap na di kumukupas, kasama sa paglalakbay at sa trabahong walang habas. Takot at kaba ang sumalubong sa akin. Ang mga tanawing paningin ko'y kayang hatakin. Iba't ibang lahi, may kanya-kanyang kaugaliang angkin. Tradisyon at kultura na handa ko ring tangkilikin. Kilala sa makabagong teknolohiya, mula sa samot-saring mga ideya, kalidad ng edukasyong di pumapalya. Bilang isang migranteng manggagawa, pagsubok ay kayang-kaya. Masarap na pagkain ang kanilang inihahain. Tulad kong migranteng sahod kailangang hatiin, sa halaga ng mga bilihin sa bulsay kay hirap dukutin. Bansang palad akong bukas pinatuloy, minsan man sa aking pag-iisay na naghoy, mga luhang kay hirap pigilan ang daloy. Mabutit dito di danas ko ang pangbabaoy. Sa 7 taong pamamalagi sa pangalawang tahanan, oportunidad, kaalaman at pangangailangan ang napunan. Ako ang migranteng manggagawa na naging puhunan ng pamilyang naiwan sa huling hapunan. So that's the Tagalog version. So for our friends who doesn't understand Tagalog, I'll be reading, it's my honor to read you the English translation. Migrant. I am a Filipino, standing tall to anyone. Wherever I may go, I will proudly raise my flag and let be known to everyone that I am a Filipino migrant. Along with my passport is my vision of success. Packed in my suitcase are my hopes and aspirations. I took a chance and ventured to my way to a foreign land. There were doubts in my eyes and in my mind. Tomorrow seemed so uncertain. But with faith and inspiration, my journey began and led me to a small island, Singapore, the first ever foreign land that I've encountered. Fear and nervousness greeted me. Everything was brand new. Different races are also present, black, white, and brown as well, with their distinctive traditions and cultures. An advanced country with very enticing scenery. It brought me to different places and let me taste a variety of food, a teaser to one's taste buds. This country warmly accepted me with open arms and has given me attention. My right as a migrant worker are unselfishly given. 7 years had passed and it became my second home. It opened a lot of doors to opportunities and new learnings. I may have doubts in the beginning because of my children and the loved ones that I left behind, but I regret nothing. I'm savoring my sweat success now, a decent life for my family. I may not be as great as what others have, but I know for sure that I am blessed. Thank you so much. So, you can get a copy of this book from me itself, and also will be available at the book bar on August 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I have some question. Sure.
First of all, thank you, Jenny, for that powerful reading in both Filipino and English. And I wanted to ask, because Jenny is not only a poet, she's also an embroidery artist. Yes, and I say this because she surprised me with an embroidery creation of the cover of my book. So she does book covers, and she did my 2 books down to the logo, down to the penguin logo, down to the down to my author's name, and it's not mentioned in her bio. And I wanted to ask you, Jenny, about your embroidery. They are so beautiful. I hope you check out her website. Or do you feel inspired by the embroidery creations that you do, or do you write poems and then you do your embroidery, or is it the other way around? Please share with us how this other art inspires your writing as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Claire, for that very wonderful question. I feel pressured. No, because I'm just like a beginner artist actually, so it's like a self-taught. I don't have like professional background or I've learned something professionally. It's just I discovered it, though like in my younger days, I think mostly of you also in our class in like TLE, something like technology livelihood, it was taught like basic sewing. So, but then the time we are just kind of playing, I'm so young. So until then, recently I've discovered the passion in embroidery. One of our friends, Susie Lee, introduced it with the migrant writers of Singapore. But then before that, I've already attended some workshop in, how do you call it? Fast. So I've learned that. So for me, it's not kind of, I also actually surprised to discover that I have that on myself, okay? When that thing came, it just naturally came. It's not that I intended to do that, oh, I want to have this. And then when I started doing it, it just flows naturally. I think it's kind of, I loved it. The passion that you are putting into it. I'm surprised myself that I can do such things. And because I'm very bad in art and like tracing in a drawing. So I think embroidery is kind of different. It's like, yeah, your imagination and your art, but it's not that I'm drawing a line or something so I could follow some pattern. So it's kind of easy for me. And I continue doing it because like, oh, the people who I've given is really like so happy and surprised. So I'm continuously doing it. So if you're interested, maybe I can share the page later of the embroidery. So I'm so happy that you trusted me actually, because you saw me making very simple, but it's really a challenge when you give me that, oh, can you do it for my book? Because it's not easy to do a portrait, the face of a people. So I can do like a flowers, that's very easy, but doing a self-portrait is really challenging for me. So yeah, thank you.
The URL? You can tell us the URL of your website. The one with the embroidery.
Oh, it's Roaring Needles because it's combined with the Roar book and the needles. So it's Roaring Needles in a Facebook page. I combine my poetry and embroidery. So yeah, Roaring Needles. Yeah.
So can you share more about your books, how you wrote it, or what is the inspiration for that?
Oh, this is very interesting, like intriguing question, because people always asking what inspires you to make this book. Because this is my debut, my first book here in Singapore, and it was titled 7 Years of Roar because it's the accumulation of 7 years, my journey here in Singapore. 7 years stands of every experience I have. There's like journey, love, friendship, gratitude. So every year there's a symbolic of 7 years. So of course, the journey to the Lion City, because this is Lion City. So people keep asking, who or what do you inspire to make this book? Actually, I could say my parents, my children, but for me it's different. I've answered this question before when I do the book launch. The inspiration for me, this is the criticism and the pain I've suffered from the community and those people who continuously criticize me. So I came up with this book that I can be more than just a migrant, more than of cleaning house and holding broom. I prove myself that I can be more. So this book is a testament of those migrant writers that don't stop dreaming. Continue to pursue your dream as long as you have your heart is clean and you have the passion to do it. Just continue doing it, because at the end of the day, it's you who do you. You don't listen for those. I mean, you see, those criticisms, I make it as my motivation to do more, to move forward. And this book is the testament of that criticisms of people around me. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jenny Lynn. So we going to closing our event. Actually, Thank you, everyone, my fellow poets, and those are our join our events. Everyone, I thank you very much. Thanks from our organizer and for SPF. Hopefully, you guys enjoy it, and I want to say some few words about migrant community. Those are doing literature, especially Mr. Mohar, Ms. Shailin, Janilin. So I know all of them. We do our journey here is actually so critical and difficult also. I know my more old friend Vivi. So we do starting it's the migrant community at first, and we engage our new friends in community, literature community. So hopefully one day we are not in the Singapore, but we try to running this community and hope we can continuously end of the day also. And here is Mohar and our old friend. I thank you everyone. So doing this kind of things, and we will do always, and hopefully the community, local community also helping us, and they will inspiration also us. So now actually we going to finish our event. Here I have a few more minutes only. The PFS 2024 run until 1st August. And do check our exciting lineup of other events during the festival, including a painting exhibition. To view our full lineup and register for event, please visit www.pfs2024patics.com. And you can our QR code also can scanning here. This event would also not have been possible without our sponsor and partners. We would like to thank the National Arts Council, the Arts House, Mr. Joseph Kua, one of World International School, and Books Cunopia for their unwavering support in making this festival a reality. Our contribution have helped create a vibrant space of poetry of flourish. Last of all, thank you very much. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and see you guys next year again, and continuously support us. Thank you very much.